is Lim See Leng. My ID number is 18002348. I'm from Chemical Engineering Department.
Hello everyone, my name is Samson Foo Kong Jee. My ID number is 18002400 and I'm from Chemical Engineering Department.
Hello, my name is Siti Norziana. ID number 18002383 from Chemical Engineering.
Hello everyone, my name is Shireen Wong Hui Xin, ID 18002501. I'm taking Chemical Engineering.
Hi, my name is Shireen Natasha, ID number 18002434 from Chemical Engineering Department. Our project title is Absorption of Heavy Metals using palm-dead pits in wastewater treatment.
In industrial sectors, water is used for many processes like washing, diluting, fabricating, and cooling. The examples of industry that produces wastewater are chemical manufacturing, mining, petroleum refineries, and power plants. Power plant is a major source of industrial wastewater and it discharges wastewater that consists a high level of copper, chromium, hexavalent, and iron ions. These ions can be very dangerous to human health and environment. Therefore, wastewater treatment process is very important to ensure that the discharge released to the surrounding by the industries comply the regulation by the government. Also, wastewater treatment can help to reduce the production of waste to the surrounding. The objective of these experiments are to investigate the best fit adsorption isotopes of copper, chromium hexavalent, and iron ions using activated carbon made up from palm-dead pits and to determine the equilibrium constant of the adsorption isotope. In this experiment, we analyzed the adsorption isotope using Langmuir isotope and Friendly isotope. Generally, in Malaysia, industrial sector produces approximately 2.97 billion cubic meter wastewater per year. Before releasing wastewater, industries need to ensure that mass concentration for heavy metals in the wastewater are lower than the limit set by the government.
My name is Sherry and I will talk about the equipment used in the wastewater treatment plant. The equipment used are sedimentation tank, settling tank, filtration tank, adsorption column, chlorine contact tank, treated water tank, pump, and pipe. Now, I will talk about the process flow diagram. First, the plant receives the wastewater from the river or lake. Then, the wastewater will undergo flocculation to combine the suspended solids to become heavy float. Then, the float will undergo sedimentation, in which the suspended solids will sink to the bottom of the tank due to gravity. The sludge is removed in primary settling tank and then collected in the sludge collection tank as a waste product. Then, the remaining sludge is recirculated in secondary settling tank to enhance the removal efficiency. After that, the sludge is removed by a layer of filters such as sand, charcoal, and gravel. Then the water is passed through the granular activated carbon GAC adsorption column to eliminate smaller impurities in the water. Then, the treated water is added with chlorine in the chlorine contact tank for disinfection. Finally, a clean water is produced and stored in the treated water tank.
Hello everyone, I'm Samson. For the analysis of the experimental data, result and discussion part in this lab project, the Langmuir model assumes that the adsorption is localized on a monolayer and all the adsorption sites on the adsorbent are homogeneous and have the same adsorption capacity. The linearized Langmuir isotope equation used in this lab project is CE over QE equivalent to 1 over QMB plus CE over QM, where the CE is the equilibrium concentration, QE is the amount of adsorbed ions on the activated carbon at equilibrium, QM represents the monolayer adsorption capacity of the adsorbent, and B is the Langmuir isotope constant. For copper ions, it is found that the value of B is 0.078 and the value of QM is 0.1059. As for chromium 6 plus ions, the value of B is 0.047, whereas the value of QM is 0.0558. For iron ions, the values of B and Qm are 0.05 and 0.111 respectively. Besides, the copper ion, chromium 6+ ion and iron ions have R² value of 0.989, 0.97 and 0.983.
Hi, I'm See Leng. Now I'll be presenting Freundlich isotope. Freundlich isotope model is based on the assumption that multi-layer absorption processes occur on heterogeneous surfaces. For Freundlich isotope, the linear equation is shown as follows. Log QE equals to log K plus 1 over n log CE, where n and k are Freundlich isotope constants, which indicates the capacity and intensity of the absorption respectively. The values of k and n can be calculated. After performing calculations, it can be found out that the value of k and n for copper ions are 0.0082 and 1.28 respectively. As for chromium ions, the value of k is 0.0035 and n is 1.454. For iron ions, the value of k and n are 0.0059 and 1.242 respectively. Generally, value of 1 over n within the range of 0.1 to 1 indicates a good absorption process. Based on the Freundlich isotope table, it shows that all of the 1 over n values for the absorption process for copper, chromium, and iron ions are within the range of 0.1 to 1. This shows that all of the absorption process of the heavy metal ions in this experiment are good absorption process. Among the three ions, it can be clearly seen that the chromium ion has the highest R² value, which is 0.998, where the R² value for copper ion is 0.995 and iron ion is 0.996. Therefore, all of the absorption isotope parameters were determined by the slope and y-intercept of both graphs. By comparing all the R² values, all of the absorption process of copper, chromium, and iron ions on activated carbon produced by palm date pits fit the Freundlich absorption isotope, as it has been proven to have higher R² values compared to the Langmuir isotope.
Hi, I'm Shireen and I'll be explaining on the safety considerations and conclusion part. Safety consideration is important to prevent any injuries or any unwanted incidents from happening while conducting the experiment. The first safety consideration is to use personal protective equipment, which is PPE, such as covered shoes, protective gloves, face and eye protection, and masks. The second safety consideration is to rinse our hands with soap and water if any skin contact with the chemicals occurs. We also need to flush our eyes with water for about 15 minutes if any chemicals has got into our eyes. Thirdly, we need to immediately seek for fresh air if we accidentally inhale any kind of chemicals. Last but not least, we need to store the chemicals in a tightly closed container safely after conducting the experiment. In this experiment, we can conclude that activated carbon was produced from the palm date pits by chemical activation, which involves impregnation method with the help of chemical activating agent, which is phosphoric acid. It can also be seen that the amount of adsorbed heavy metal ions at equilibrium is higher when the equilibrium concentrations of the heavy metal ions in the solution increase. Last but not least, we can conclude that the best fit adsorption isotope for this experiment is Freundlich isotope.